Are we ready, clocks?
Where would that fall on the political spectrum?
Well, I am the galactic center, and everything else just revolves around me like little planets.
Could you put that in, like, American political terms?
Yes? I'm the galactic center, and everything else spins around me like little planets.
Psycho Eyes.
Oh, I'm thirsty. Oh, I'm thirsty, I want to drink. Oh, I'm thirsty, I want to drink. Give me a drink. Have a cup of tea. What? Have a cup of tea. What a cup of tea for? That's the best thing you can have if you're thirsty. You're not even Irish, man. What's wrong with you? Have a good cup of tea. That's the best thing you can have if you're thirsty. A good cup of tea. It cools you down. Bollocks. You can just see him at Wimbledon. Game, set and match. Can you get the kettle on for these lads here? The gas.
I've got to do the news!
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you. What?
Oh, brew people. Welcome to the stream. We're not late, you're late. Nobody's late. It was a relative time dilation caused by the partial eclipse of the sun earlier. That's what it was. You're watching the Brews at 10 on my left eye, 10 o'clock on the dot. This is the live stream that you can set your watch to. Solidari-Tea, everybody. Thanks for being here. I am your humble host, Lefty. Anybody who doesn't know the channel, we're all about politics and society from a left-wing perspective, but whether you're old or new to the channel, you're all very welcome. Heddy was first in the chat, nice to see you, brother. Emma Richardson as well. Or am I? Nice to see you. We have a Doc in the house as well. Doc Davies, Bev's with us, and Darren as well. I'll go by your forename if that's okay with you, Darren. Hopefully we can get through the stream without certain interferences in the chat. Don't worry, I will be on hand to deal with such matters. Hope you've all hit the thumbs up stream already. I know you've given it a good old smash, and if you enjoyed that little teaser from Binface in the sort of pre-stream intro that we do, plenty more of that to come. Yes, The by-election cometh tomorrow. Binface versus Farage. It's establishment versus trash. So we do have a very hearty and healthy hot seats segment this evening. Really do have our fingers crossed. Stick around for that as well, because I do have a very interesting poll that I'd like you all to see. A very interesting poll that I'd like you all to see. And we've got some other electoral good news as well that I'll be sharing with you after hot seats. We'll also be following the continued online meltdown of George O'Dowd, also known as Boy George. War is stupid, and so is George. I believe that's the lyrics to them. I'm not particularly into Culture Club that much. Anyway. What else do we have coming up? Of course, we have a climate crisis, the ongoing 5th heatwave. Just nicely buttering us up for the 6th heatwave that's about to come as well. Plus a good smattering of comedy on tonight's show. I've got a few clips actually that'll help us raise a smile on me. But it's mostly going to be a positive stream because we want to create some positivity around Binface for tomorrow. Speaking of positivity, I'm feeling very positive about all of the members on the stream. 110 now towards the target of 250. So I'll actually just make that scroll a bit bigger. You might have noticed a few recent graphic adjustments. For anybody with OCD, we don't have part of the My Left Eye, the Brews at 10, sorry, writing slightly overlapping the handle of the mug. It's now moved to a more central position. It gets very exciting. But seriously though, do appreciate the support. And if you're watching as we're streaming, super chats and super stickers are available. I'll read out all super chats. And if you're catching up later on, there's super thanks as well as the Buy Me a Coffee page. Head to the description of any content on the channel for that one. Thank you very much, all members. And Bev has been with us for a month now, celebrating the first month anniversary. Solidari-Tea. Nice to have you, Bev. Let's please big up Bev in the chats. Do like to see month anniversaries being celebrated as we are live. And thank you very much for renewing as well.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
We can dig it. We got Jacqueline in the chat as well, just joining us. Nice to see you, Jacqueline. Very good evening to you, Solidarity. Do I have any more updates before we get on with proceedings? I think I've just about covered everything. Of course, please do give us a follow on social media as well. And if you're watching any of our video content on a mobile device, do hit thumbs up and share some hype points. Well, thank you very much, Eddie, for the Palestine flags in the chat. Always good to see.
Damn right!
Yeah, I hope you're all staying cool tonight. Starting to feel a bit of a cooler breeze coming in the window, but yeah, it's been awful. But we can take it. We can take the heat. Any of our viewers, international viewers, catch a full solar eclipse? Let us know. It's been a good 27 years since we had any kind of eclipse here in this country. Proper. But I understand, let me get this right. I think it might have been Iceland. I'm not certain if it was Iceland, but whilst they were reporting on it earlier, apparently there hasn't been one there for about 600 years or something like that. It was, yeah, in the 16th century or something. 15th, 16th. Quite a wait. And the next one here will be in about 80 years, something, not too long. Not too long to wait. We'll actually crack on with the opening comedy clip.
On with it. Yes, get on with it! Get on with it!
Because we've got some top clips for you tonight, people. This first one comes from a great impersonator and parody comedian, Clare Blackwood. Over in the States, we really like her impressions of Caroline Leavitt, the, of course, Republican spokes, the Trump spokes. And this is the latest one. There's a link in the description for Claire's YouTube page. She's a fellow YouTuber. So go and show some support on this, the second largest platform in the world. In the world. Jeremy Clarkson there. My harvest is fucked. Coming up. Sorry, that's for Sundays. And let's get on with Clare Blackwood. Like I said, go and subscribe.
Good evening, you disgusting vaccinated losers. In case you haven't heard, because you all lost your hearing due to the flu vaccine, which is a real thing that really happens, President Trump has just signed an executive order decreasing the number of childhood vaccines from 2 billion to 11. Contrary to what the fake news media is saying, Mr. Trump cares about your children and wants to protect them from the worst diseases known to American kind. Autism, wokeism, Trump derangement syndrome, horseworms, and Democrat. Anyone telling you that your child can get...
I thought she was going to say socialism, but Democrat. Kind of close enough. I guess the Americans, a lot of Americans still consider them socialist. Spoiler alert, they're not. Andy Carter's in the chat as well. Nice to see you, brother. How you doing this eve? Solidarity.
Things like the flu, measles, COVID, and hepatitis is lying to you because their mind was infected by mRNA as a baby. The president wants to make America healthy again. And that starts with making sure that your babies aren't poisoned by the woke mind virus. That is why Mr. Trump will also be issuing another executive order to force doctors to vaccinate all Americans with a new vaccine against it. This vaccine is safe, effective, and made with the finest roadkill RFK Jr. found outside his house this morning. Also starting today, other changes to American pediatric care will officially include the mandatory use of leeches, bloodletting, ground up Egyptian mummy, mercury pills, cocaine, and lead. Babies are God's gift to President Trump because they grow up into people who will vote for him when he runs for president for the 10th time. And as the president, he knows more about science and health than any stupid doctor, especially Dr. Fauci, who is currently locked in the White House dungeon. Any scientists who say anything bad about the new vaccine program will join him. The White House is your doctor, and we will see you now. That is all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go drill a hole in the president's skull because he has a headache and needs to let out his brain's evil spirits. Thank you.
Clare Blackwood, another absolute banger there. Caroline Levitt. It's almost like the real thing, really, though, isn't it? Awesome stuff. Go subscribe. Doc uses horse triangulators, and Andy Carter's domesticated his woke mind virus and uses it as a guard dog. Excellent technique. Excellent technique. The emotional support woke mind virus guard dog. Jacqueline horse worming tablets as well. Perhaps, is there some way to inject light to kill the virus? Oh. And it kind of seems crazy. It was quite a long time ago, wasn't it? The inject yourself with bleach days. And then, of course, some people actually did it. And now he's president again. WTAF. Yes, but she is on the way out, that's correct. Brett, nice to see you in chat. She will join the likes of Kristi Noem on the Has Been pile. And we hope that the door doesn't hit her on the way out. Oh, actually, that's wrong. That's what was wrong. See you later, Phil. Right, we'll get into features. More comedy to come. Well, of course. Plenty of bin face. Next. Well, it's happening tomorrow. The white hot seat. And like I said earlier, stick around because there is a pretty interesting poll that just landed today. Today, it's fresh, it's hot. And it's the only remaining hot seat. It'll all be over tomorrow. Clacton on Sea. And come Friday, we'll have the winner.
Today, I will resign as a Member of Parliament for Clacton on Sea, thereby forcing a by-election.
We got one!
So what's happening? Well, unfortunately we didn't get a live televised one-to-one debate for obvious reasons. Farage wouldn't have an Ice Cube in hell's chance of keeping up with the rapier-like wit that Count Binface possesses. However, Binface has been very busy on the media rounds. He's been talking to a lot of people, both domestically and around the world. You might have seen that clip that we teased you with earlier, his excellent response when speaking to an American journalist. That one's never going to get old. But he has spoken to quite a few more people from across the globe, apart from the clip with the American journalist. I've not actually seen this. So let's enjoy this for the first time together. It's Binface versus the world press. And then we've got plenty more to come.
But you mentioned your manifesto, and there's some quite interesting things on here. You want to impose a windfall tax on cosy crime novels. I quite like cosy crime novels. I think that's quite unfair. You also
hang on. What's unfair? It's not about you enjoying it.
Well,
you like oil. You like energy, don't you? But why shouldn't there be a windfall tax on it?
Okay. Well, we'll get. And the other point you make is that you want to move a hand dryer in a Nepalese restaurant in Southport.
Yes.
And I hear the owners are quite intrigued by that. They didn't know there was an issue with the hand dryer.
Well, they do know.
They blooming well should. Have you seen it?
But I haven't. I can't say I've been to that
what
restaurant.
What kind of journalist is this? It's on my website.
Well, I should get down there. You're right. I should get down there. You're right. But there are
on my site.
There are some very.
It's lethal.
Okay.
What would be your first words in Parliament?
Hello.
Fucking hell.
No particular message?
Oh, I'd do a bit more than that, but I'd definitely start with hello. Maybe a few other languages as well, who knows? And yes, I'd like to sort of maybe talk about the state of that room, because those green benches are a bit tired. That green leather. Why does it have to be green?
What would be your idea? What colour do you like?
It depends on the day of the week. Us bins, you see. 1 week it could be green, next week it could be black. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. So you speak Japanese?
I have a smattering. I'm fluent in over 7 million forms of communication. Eat that, C3PO. And yes, I've got a bit of Japanese. I can say... I
love it. This is all just off the cuff as well. It's absolutely fucking amazing. Of course, he is a parody comedy writer, the man behind the mask. Jonathan Harvey. But just fantastic. You just give him a fucking ball and he runs with it. It's great.
I said.
How come you know that?
But it's true.
Okay.
I'm not a lawyer. I'd quite like to be. I've got another one. Depato wa jujikara wo kujimada desu.
How come you know these Japanese?
He's speaking Japanese. Fucking hell.
Because I wanted to be able to. I was tempted to open a department store, and I thought if I did, it should open from 10 until 6.
Okay.
So I thought I needed to learn that phrase.
Wow,
that's all I've got.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's usable or not, but that's amazing.
Well, I just used it.
Yes.
What would you do for the Netherlands?
Dutch.
Well, how good? Where are your hand dryers?
We mostly have papers that you reuse.
Okay, so there you go. Well, so maybe that's one issue. I would be able to focus on nationalising Dutch.
Oh God, I need a drink. Sorry, I've got the brew and the cool down beverage as well, both non-alcoholic, of course.
Pop stars. Who's the best pop star in the Netherlands?
I wouldn't know. Would you not know?
Why would I know? I barely know any in the UK.
Do you know any Dutch?
No. Tell me some Dutch. I know Raymond van Barneveld. Does that help?
Yeah. It's a very Dutch name as well.
He was very good.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the Dutch like the same things the British like. That sort of pub culture. There's a very strong affinity. Darts. Yes. So I know about that.
Yeah. Well, you don't speak any Dutch?
No, but I'd like to. Tell me some Dutch.
What would you like me to say?
Vote Binface.
Binface, I think, in Dutch would be vuilnisgezicht.
Vuilnisgezicht?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And vote is stem. Stem voor.
So 4 is the same, is it?
Ja, stem voor vuilnisgezicht.
Yes, it's almost as though we've stolen from many languages around the world, including Germanic, Dutch-based, and French, of course. A multitude of others. This is great.
Stem for vuilnisgezicht.
Very good.
Lovely. I'm going to need that. You vote bin.
Comrie, nice to see you. Solidarity.
There will be no second by-election. So I save British taxpayers £350,000 before I've even started. How'd you like them apples? Or tomatoes if you're in Pamplona.
Pamplona is my hometown.
Ah, yeah, I know my stuff.
My God, he's good.
Do you like to throw squishy tomatoes at people?
I do.
Well, you're a journalist, of course you do.
We love it.
Lovely.
Maybe the American leader, or I don't know.
Do you mean the current one?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan of him.
Oh, why is that?
It's the things he said and the things he's done. I'll come to Italy if you want me.
Oh, yeah. Would you like to come?
I would.
And if so, would you like to be our Presidente del Consiglio? Prime Minister.
What does that involve?
It's the Prime Minister. It involves to be, basically to do what Giorgia Meloni is doing right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't sound very hard.
Okay, fair enough.
Thoughts on how you would manage President Trump?
Well, he'll be gone.
What do you mean?
Well, he's only got... What do you mean? Unless he's going to break the Constitution, he's only got 2 years left as president, maximum. He's 80 years old. Do the math.
But you might be elected to Parliament this summer.
Yes.
In a couple weeks.
Right.
You might be in a position to liaise with the Trump administration.
Do you really think so?
As in a non-ministerial position as the Member of Parliament for Clacton, independent. Maybe.
Do you have any ambitions to?
No.
Okay.
Why would I want to talk to him? He's awful.
He is, but Count Binface is amazing. Let's like they just don't know how to handle him. And there's more. This was I'll show you this one first, actually, yeah. From the press room, he was confronted by a member of LBC, and again, reacted spectacularly well.
LBC Radio. LBC, lovely.
It's only a short one. Yeah. What happened to Sangeeta Maiska? Well, we know she was sacked very shortly after giving a very good grilling to a Zionist guest speaker on a show, Israeli Spokes.
What happened to Sangeeta Maiska, everyone?
If I can talk to you about
what happened to Sangeeta Maiska?
about the results.
Keep it stum.
Ask you what the results.
What's happened to Sangeeta? I'm genuinely interested.
I don't know.
Awkward. Nice. Excellent stuff from Binface. Yeah, it was fucking hell. Vanessa Feltz, wasn't it, who replaced her for a brief time. Does she still have the same slot that Sangeeta Maiska had? I don't know, I'm not an LBC listener. I, sometimes come across clips and whatnot, but not really an avid real-time listener, as you might have guessed. Unless it's the call-in part. And before we take a look at another long interview clip, first time watch for me, he's actually being interviewed by someone else who I'm very big fan of, Mehdi Hassan. So that should be a treat as well. But first of all, this is Count Binface's message to everybody in the universe, not just people from Earth.
Hello, outer space! Hello, recyclons and all other alien species. Count Binface here, and I've found the most incredible little planet in the Omniverse. Well, apart from Sigma 9. The locals here call it Earth. It's not exactly a galactic hotspot, although it might be soon, because the dominant species, human beings, seemed determined to slow cook themselves with self-inflicted climate change, just like Sigma 10. In fact, so far, this planet's only got one review on Star TripAdvisor, which reads as follows.
Or Sigma 10.
Went in 1982, lost my friends, couldn't phone home, caught hypothermia by a river, and then got experimented on by the locals, nearly died, rubbish. But hey, we can ignore that naysayer, whoever he is.
Who might that have been? Let's just listen to what 1982 was it, and an extraterrestrial of some kind. 80s film, an extraterrestrial of some kind. Extraterrestrial. It's on the tip of my tongue. I know it. Of course, it's the xenomorph from Alien, or Aliens, isn't it? No, Aliens. Oh no, it was 1982, wasn't it? God, I feel so stupid. Oh, of course, it was John Carpenter's The Thing.
Because get this, these guys on this planet are using democracy. Well, some of them are, sort of. But what it means is I can stand for election. And on Thursday, the 13th of August, the humans of an amazing place called Clacton could elect me as the first alien member
13th.
of Parliament, which would make Clacton the most famous place in this solar system. I know, you want to see this for yourselves, and you must. Come. They're lovely folk. Just don't all come here at once. Humans can get a little bit prickly about immigration. Anyway, whatever planet you're on, I hope you're all super well. Peace and love. Binface out.
A lovely intergalactic message there, I thought, from Count Binface. Yes, of course, he was referring to the film E.T. Unfortunately, John Carpenter's The Thing, which is much superior, was overlooked, having been released at around the same time as the other Alien. Let's hope he has a intergalactic victory message to share come Friday. And on that note, let's get into this deep dive interview. There are never enough hours in a day, people. So again, this is a first time watch for me. Although I do actually know where to cut to for the interview proper. There's a few snippets at the start, but it's quite long, so we'll just get straight into the proper nitty-gritty of it all with the excellent Mehdi Hassan. Of course, we've seen him take on Zeteo spokes himself on quite a few occasions, and a very good job he does in that regard as well. We'll be seeing some more Zeteo spokes being left with egg on the face later on in the stream. But for now, this is Mehdi Hassan with a slightly different topic of the by-election in Clacton-on-Sea.
If I came down in my true form, I might freak you out.
Gonna go to about here.
Garbage can on his head. I'm delighted to say that on the eve of this historic by-election, Count Binface himself joins me here on Zeteo UK. Welcome.
And there's a link to Zeteo if you want to go and subscribe, which I, of course, encourage you to do so.
Count Binface to Zeteo UK.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Mehdi. And firstly, thank you for pronouncing Zeteo, because I've seen it lots online.
Yes.
You're doing very well. But I didn't know how to say it. What does it mean?
It means to search for the truth. It's ancient Greek.
It's Greek.
Count Binface.
Exactly. I knew you'd say that. It's beautiful. Exactly. As you probably know, I'm partial to a lovely bit of Earth languages from the past. So,
from the past, indeed. from the past.
Indeed,
Here's one for you people. Maybe Sigma 9 is so far away that if astronomers there observed the Earth, they'd actually observe ancient Greece. And I'm not going to do the calculations right now on stream to figure out how far away that would have to be. But you certainly can't get the train there. Let's put it that way.
Sad thing is that you're writing it in English script. Bit lazy.
Your command of English is very strong. We're very impressed. Why are you running in Clacton to be a member of Parliament, Count Binface?
Good question. I mean, running's putting it strongly, Mehdi. It's 38 degrees out there. It's, I think standing is a more accurate description of my election activities. And even that might be difficult come Thursday night. But yes, I am taking part. I mean, my first answer is, of course, why not? This is democracy. And British democracy at that, the greatest in the world, in the cosmos. It's the only one that would allow me to stand next to a prime minister, a minister, a party leader, architect of Brexit, you name it. And on that beautiful moment on election night, there is the great leveller where they have to stand next to whoever is brave enough to take them on. I mean, it's perfect, isn't it? That's why you're talking to me.
Yes, I have to ask you this, though. You've stood next to prime ministers, as you said, Andy Burnham. You were at the Makerfield by-election. You were at the Theresa May election, Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak. What did they make of you? Did you interact with these prime ministers?
Well, I mean, my main answer to that would be, who cares what they think? Because with the exception of Andy Burnham, they've all gone into the dustbin of history, you see.
For now. I
have taken out the trash. And obviously Andy actually had the greatest conversation with me so far. He seemed to be aware of my policies, Mehdi. He quoted them to me. Renaming HS2, FFS1. He knew all about it. He said he'd think about it. So maybe there's the start of a...
Well, he says he'll think about a lot of things, doesn't he? More about Burnham's shortcomings to come later in the stream. Of course, if anyone's not familiar with this channel too much, we are broadcasting live from Manchester this eve.
Brighter galactic future for the UK with its new leader. But as for the other ones, good riddance.
Good riddance indeed. Liking this video? Then don't just watch. Hit like, share, and subscribe.
There's an
and
ad
tap
here.
the bell so you never miss a
Go
video or live show. But if you want early access to exclusive
in a new
content,
tab
then you
or
have
after
to
the
head
stream.
to Zeteo.com and subscribe now. You'll be supporting fearless, independent journalism. You have run many times before. No one's really taken you seriously until now. All the other major parties decided to stand down. How excited were you when you heard there wouldn't be a Labour candidate or a Tory candidate or a Lib Dem, and it would just be Count Binface and a bunch of other no-names against Nigel Farage, the possible next Prime Minister of the UK?
Well, firstly, fake news, Hassan. That's not true. Because in the London mayoral contests in 2021, I received 92,000 votes, first choice and second choice. Is that not being taken seriously?
Yeah.
He beat the Lib Dem candidate as well in that election, did he not?
I finished 9th out of 20 candidates in the top half. Is that not being taken seriously? In the 2024 London mayor election, I got 24,000 votes and beat the fascists of Britain First by several thousand votes. Is that not being taken seriously?
I mean, technically you dropped 70,000 votes, but still, good that you beat the fascists. We're always happy when you beat the fascists. You mentioned your policies.
Mehdi.
I'm taking you seriously. Count Binface.
Done his research. No, in 2021, I received 24,775 first choice votes. Then
He remembers exactly how many votes he's got as well from all these, and he's not rounding up or down. He's given us exact six-figure sums here, just off the top of his head, as well.
Cheeky politicians changed the electoral system to first past the post. How many did I get? 24,000 again. So there is genuine...
Thank you for fact-checking me on the electoral system in London. Let's talk about your policies. You mentioned your policies. You've got a bunch of policies. Some of them are some fun ones. You want bus fares capped at £1.99, and you want the 99 flake ice cream to cost no more than 99p.
They're all very serious, actually,
I haven't
Mehdi.
lived in the UK for 12 years. I grew up enjoying in the UK a good flake on a softie. What does a flake cost right now?
Well, as we saw from one of his recent campaigners down in Clacton, anywhere between £3 and £3.50 just for a single cone, with flake in it, obviously, making it the, air quotes, 99. What a jip. And in fact, earlier, I don't have the clip, but Farage was out in Clacton, and a journalist asked him when they were close to a fish and chip stand how much he thought fish and chips would cost, and he said something like £7 or something like that, £7.50, and he was actually going on 15 quid, and he couldn't believe it, and that's in his constituency. And in the end, he was sort of stood stony face looking at the menu for a while, and then just had to concede. He went, yeah, that's very dear, isn't it? Well, it's on your watch in your constituency, you mostly absent bastard.
Thank you for saying they're
Get
fun
bin face in.
policies. I like to think they are positive, but of course they're deadly serious. That if Andy Burnham can price cap bus fares at £2, why shouldn't the people
Why
of
not?
Clacton get a little discount on that? I don't see why not.
But
Which of course is fully funded.
Classic
in my
politician,
manifesto.
you're not actually answering my question. What is the cost
Hang
of a
on.
flake? What's the cost of a flake ice cream right now?
Excuse me, you asked me 2 questions. I'm just coming to that. So take it to just a little bit of patience, sir. You have asked me 2 things. I'll answer both things.
Okay.
Most politicians don't do that. I've remembered every part of your question. I should come to them in turn. I simply say, you called my bus policy fun. I'm saying it's fully costed by my windfall tax on cozy crime novels written by celebrities.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to the ice creams. Yes, 99 flake ice creams should cost 99 pence before you scarp it to America. That is what they cost roughly. In Frenton, the other...
And given that inflation is going to go to, something like 4.2%, which is way, way outside of the target of 2% that was set, this policy is needed more than ever. In fact, we're only looking at growth of something like 0.3% as a consequence of ongoing global warfare and the climate crisis, of course, which is going to, you can't have an economy when we're all dead.
Day in the constituency, £3.80 for a 99 flake.
£3.80.
I've had figures quoted to me in the southeast of England, £4.50.
Even Dick Turpin wore a mask. Fucking thieving bastards. How much? How much? Fucking hell. In the 5th richest country in the world, what's the point of economies? What's the point of GDP? I've said this many times before. What's the magic number of GDP where everybody's housed, clothed, fed, employed? That sort of thing. £4.50? £4.50? We've got choc ices in the freezer at home.
For a 99. And yet nobody can tell me what is actually in a 99 flake, because it's not ice cream, I can tell you that for starters.
Whatever it is, it's good. You've got some other. This could be seen as a serious policy. You want to move the hand dryer in the gents' toilet at a restaurant to a more sensible position. Why?
Because it's in an unsensible position.
Well, this is a long-standing policy of mine, going right back to my Boris Johnson election. I pledged to move the hand dryer in the Crown and Treaty pub Uxbridge to a more sensible position because it was dangerous. It's far too close to the urinal, and this has gone like wildfire, Mehdi. It's because
Incidents, nudging, accusations, that sort of thing, have absolutely plummeted at the Crown and Treaty in Uxbridge ever since this policy was introduced. It's had a very positive effect on the local community.
become a national and international issue, and humans have been sending me photos, and obviously you've got to be careful when you take them, of other gents' toilets around the world with similar problems. And the Great Himalayas restaurant in Southport is a particularly prime offender. It is like air frying your genitals while attempting to urinate. It's got to be stopped.
All right, you actually do have serious policies about your opponent, Nigel Farage. You say, for example, one of your top 20 policies is MPs who resign mid-parliament to be barred from the resulting by-election. Sounds like that's aimed at Nigel Farage. MPs who change party mid-parliament to be forced to face a by-election. Sounds like that's aimed at all the people who joined Reform UK from the Tories. And number 15, I will not...
They're the biggest defectors, aren't they? People joining Reform at the moment. There's been some crossbench activity between the Tories and Labour, of course, in the not-too-distant past. Famously, former Speaker John Bercow, of course, defected, but yeah, most recently it's all been a very poor tactical move, at least from all of those defectors.
Accept £5 million gifts from crypto billionaires on Earth. Again, sounds like Nigel Farage and the money he accepted from Christopher Harbone, which is now being investigated. Well, it's paused, but was being investigated by the Parliamentary Standards Authority. So seems like you're really going after your opponent, Nigel Farage, but you don't name him. Why don't you name him? Are you afraid of him?
Well, it's interesting you say that, Mehdi. You say those policies are aimed at a certain individual.
So you still won't say his name?
I couldn't possibly comment. I would say they are uniform policies. Because any MP, like David Davis in 2008.
David Davis? Who should have put the negotiations for leaving the EU with a pen?
He called a by-election, as you darn well know, over a matter of principle. He should have been barred from that election as well. So this is not just an ad hominem attack whatsoever. I would suggest that if any MP were to be given a £5 million donation by a crypto billionaire, that they should A, fill out the requisite form, and B, the public have a right to know what's going on. Yep. So this is a blanket policy, Mehdi.
Okay.
You cannot state that strongly enough.
There just happens to be only one politician that particular figure of £5 million pertains to currently. And the investigation, of course, will continue if Nigel Farage wins the by-election, which I don't think he was expecting is going to happen anyway. He thought this would just blow it out of the water. Yeah. What an idiot.
You mentioned David Davis. He famously caused the by-election in his own
Not
seat.
that famous.
Not that famous. At the time. I was in the UK at the time. He was the Shadow Home Secretary. He ran for re-election in that seat. He ran unopposed, if memory serves me correctly. And
Not correct. 26 candidates.
Okay, when I say unopposed, with the greatest respect, Count Binfast, I mean the major parties, not random space aliens.
How dare you?
But I just did. But Davis ran again, and he got, I think his vote share went from about 46, 47%, if memory serves me correctly, to something like 70-something percent. Is that what Nigel Farage needs to do on Thursday to show that he's actually...
Yeah, Mehdi's in on the joke here. He's just trying to do his serious journalist bit. But he is, of course, in on all of the jokes. I think, just responding to chat, Lee Anderson's defected, well, at least twice, of course. He went to Labour and then to Reform, starting off in the Tory party. But as I say, he's been in more parties than Paris Hilton.
Actually in command of his constituency. Does he really need to increase his vote share to show he's the dominant figure in British politics?
Well, that's a good question. I would say that's for expert analysts like your good self to discern. For me, I would suggest that the very fact that the by-election has occurred is the weakness, the chink in the Reform UK armour. Yeah. I mean, you may well have seen it reported. I cannot believe this is true, but I've seen it reported that people inside Reform UK thought that by calling this by-election, it would have actually stopped the future by-election, with clearly misunderstanding the rules, if that to be the case.
Yeah, because, of course, if Farage was investigated and then proven to have taken an illicit donation, an unauthorised donation, then that would, of course, have forced a by-election. But you can't sort of beat them to it, like Farage thought that he could. And at first I thought, no, surely he must know this, and he's just done it as a stunt anyway, to try and gain public support, whatnot. But no, it turns out all of them might actually just be that stupid. And when you've got people like 30p Lee amongst your ranks, and when you've got people like Richard Tice, who represents the lowest performing constituency where higher education is concerned. And it's easy to see why.
Whereas, of course, the other parties have decided not to run, either because they're frit, I love that word, of old bin face, or because they think that this is a cunning stunt. I use those words.
Brits means frightened for anyone watching from outside the UK. It's kind of Cockney slangish. I think that's where it started off. Are you frit?
Advisedly by Nigel Farage. So, in my opinion, whatever result Nigel gets on Thursday, the proof is in the fact that he made a false equivalence between a democratic mandate from Clacton and the results of a parliamentary inquiry into his financial affairs. I would say that's going to come out in the wash.
I agree with you. It's the first time you've mentioned his name. What do you make of Nigel Farage? What's your view of him?
Well, I mean, he was the MP for Clacton until recently. He has been the architect of a Brexit, and I've been trying to analyse the pros and the cons of Brexit in the 10 years since that referendum occurred in the United Kingdom. Yes. First, I analysed the cons of Brexit. That took me quite a long time. In fact, I'm still doing that. And then I decided to have...
Well, didn't Jacob Rees-Mogg say that we'd have to wait 50 years to start to see the benefits? Which totally would have got him out of having his own words put back to him. Of course, later down the line, the old, is this you sort of thing. 50 years. They didn't put that on the side of a bus, did they? And it's not even going to happen in 50 years because there aren't going to be any. Not now. Or in 50 years. The permanent damage it's done to the economy has been, as predicted, at least 4%.
Look at the pros.
Yeah. None?
None that I can see.
None.
There is a debate, Count Binface, that let's talk about your identity. People say that your alter ego, John Harvey, a London liberal, ex-BBC, anti-Brexit comedian, is running in all these races against Tories and reform because you're obsessed with Brexit and you want to make the right look bad. What do you say to them?
Firstly, I would say that to break the fourth wall of a satirical character is a...
Yeah, come on. Come on, Eddie. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on.
Cardinal sin. No matter what side of the Atlantic
I'm going to ask you to break the wall. I'm asking you to comment on the critiques of your alter ego. I'm asking
Yes, exactly. Well, I don't know what you're talking about there. Okay. All I would say
is... Come on. You don't have to be the ultra grown-up here. I am a big fan of Med. He's awesome. He's, again, doing the serious journal bit. I get that. But, you don't break the fourth wall.
Is that anybody who has any knowledge of human comedy writers would do well to know that just to have had any involvement with the BBC does not make them a BBC individual. They would probably quite like that because of the old coin that the DG gets and all the rest of it. But it doesn't quite work like that. And as for the establishment, who's the establishment? The lone wolf?
Cover the mic, not your mouth.
In a rather amateurish space armour from Sigma 9, or the gentleman who has been a member of the British Parliament, the member of the European Parliament, the central figure of British politics in the last 20 years, and is a member, reputedly, of...
Living off, by the way, he still, of course, gets a pension. He'll get a pension for being a member of the European Parliament as well, Farage will. Despite his... unfortunately, eventually successful critique of it. And when he was an MEP, of course, he was on a very significant salary.
The East India Gentlemen's Club, which to this day, I understand, does not admit women.
Let me ask you this. You talked about your identity not wanting to break the fourth wall. Well, in your current identity, you used to be Lord Buckethead before you renamed yourself Count Binface. When you ran against Theresa May, you were Lord Buckethead. Why did you, for want of a better word, transition?
It's legal reasons.
If you read my history, which I'm sure you have, I'm sure this is just a rhetorical question, Mehdi, and just like I did with the old Zeteo at the start, you know as well as I do that in 2017, when I first came down to Earth, I thought if I came down in my true form, I might freak you out, you humans, and especially snowflakes like you. And so I thought I better adopt a disguise. And I've discovered that a baronet, of Lord Buckethead had lain dormant for 25 years. I thought, I know, I'll go in disguise, incognito, and that'll be a bit easier for you guys. It worked a treat until it turned out I had a little snafu on the planet copyright. So I respawned in my true guise, and I'm the first politician in history who's felt better after kicking the bucket. How about it?
All right. And if you get elected, do you think you're going to pull off a Martin Bell or a, I don't know, Stephen Twigg against Michael Portillo on Thursday?
Well, I mean, if I get elected, I will have done that. There's a paradox in your question there. Well, I think what you mean is, do you think I can...
Well, it's known as the Portillo moment now, of course, when a long-standing and prominent member of Parliament loses the seats, minister, cabinet members, that kind of thing. Portillo. Let's hope that Farage gets Portillo'd all over the place in Clacton tomorrow. Don't forget, after this interview, we're going to be checking out this latest poll, what it's worth. We always take them with a pinch of salt, but this one is particularly interesting.
Yes, what Martin Bell or Stephen Twigg. You're careful on your syntax there, Mehdi.
Thank you for helping me.
Yes, I take your point. Well, of course, Stephen Twigg was a Labour member who was sort of swept in the 1997 landslide. Even I know that. So that's a poor comparison. Okay. Martin Bell, much more my kind of
independent
guy. Interesting suit.
But he actually won, Count Binface. Can you?
Well, that's what we're talking about. I don't know. But, I mean, who knows? You know, democracy.
It's a pretty crappy answer from a politician. You're supposed to say, yes, of course I can win.
I'm being honest, mate. That's what you can...
All right. All right.
What do you want?
In the interest of honesty, if you get elected to Parliament, will you take off your helmet? Because you can't wear that bin in the House of Commons chamber.
Not true either. I was live on Newsnight. Do you remember them?
Yep.
And they
remember them.
Obviously, they're going down, and Zeteo's coming up. But you know, I went on them as well. And the political editor Nick Watt said live on air that British members of Parliament had been debating how to change the rules to allow me to enter Parliament in my full regalia. Now, you might think, as I've been saying, maybe they should have been concentrating first on fixing the British economy. But there we are. You know, maybe they have got their priorities right.
It's funny you mentioned Newsnight going down, and you called them, I think, a souped-up podcast when you were on air with BBC Newsnight. You also did John Craig of Sky News, kind of tore him a new one when he interviewed you very reluctantly on the Makerfield by-election night. You also kind of mocked LBC. You asked them where Sangeeta Maiska is, who's now a Zeteo contributor. Do you take a very dim view of the British media? Does Count Binface not a fan of the British mainstream media?
You missed out that I told GB News that they should comply with Ofcom rules at every opportunity.
Serious point there. Point there.
Do you appreciate that?
I do. So what's your view of the British mainstream media? It sounds like it's not a very high one.
But it waxes and wanes like your moon, Mehdi. You know, I'm very glad that you have a trenchant media. You know, I'm willing to talk to journalists. I've done quite a lot of national, international, and most importantly, local news. I think it's one of the great things that separates democracies from tyrannies, just like, of course, free and fair elections where anyone can stand. So it's very important that you guys ask the questions you ask, but you also get decent answers back, which mark your syntax and grammar accordingly.
Last question. British democracy, what state is it in? Healthy? Unhealthy? Worried?
Wow, that's a very good question. We could talk all night about that. I would say the very fact that I can still do this is we can give that a tick on the old Bill of Health. There are many countries on your planet. You don't see Count Binface in China or Russia or North Korea, do you? So there's you guys are doing something right. I say you guys. I know you're in America, but you know what I mean.
I'm still British, and we're on Zeteo UK.
Yeah, you've got to be like a, member of a very rich, wealthy, historic family, generally. recently in the United States of America, of course, the Kennedys, Bushes, the pumpkin-spiced Palpatine, who currently occupies the increasing monstrosity that is the White House, with, of course, his plans for the East Wing being ruled unconstitutional.
Exactly. So, I think there's lots to celebrate. And I will say this, one of the reasons I haven't wanted to be ad hominem in this campaign is because whether you agree with Nigel Farage's politics or not, or indeed any of the other candidates, there are 34 human individuals, well, 33 humans and me, who've been brave enough to put themselves forward and stand on that stage for an election. And that needs celebrating in itself. So that's good. I mean, as for the British parliamentary system in itself, well, 7 prime ministers in 10 years. I mean, you're changing them at a rate faster than Doctor Who. Can't be good. But maybe Andy Burnham is the guy for the hot seat for a while. All I would say is whoever's in charge, give them a chance and then judge them. I think everybody's it's a little bit like football management, wouldn't you say, Mehdi?
Yes.
Maybe the media, they play their role in that. Have you got addicted to that moment outside number 10 with the podium
Yes.
or no podium? Maybe everyone just needs to calm down a little. Maybe that's how I come in.
I do enjoy getting a thoughtful critique of the British media from a man with a bin on his head. I don't endorse candidates count bin phase. Zeteo doesn't endorse.
It's still
candidates.
better than
But I
Farage,
would
and that's
say
the
if I was in
point.
Clacton, I'd be
He would build at least one affordable home, and that is the point.
very tempted to vote for the man who says, this is a very important one to me, number 8 on your list of policies, arcade grabber games to be made fairer so players actually have a chance to win. That has always pissed me off. That those stupid hook things are just, the whole thing is rigged.
It's disgraceful, isn't it? Although I would say this, that you've chosen to land on that one rather than point 10 in this heat wave that oil and gas companies should pay for solar panels for everyone, a policy that was brought to me by a human child named Jack, aged 10. How brilliant is that? The children, human children, have been sending me their ideas like they send Father Christmas their presents, and they want me to help them try and fix the world that your generation
You might say letters
is,
there.
well, I won't say what I should be saying, screwing up. How about that?
I think it's our generation, John. Count Binface, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
I appreciate being on with you, Mehdi, and may Zeteo thrive and have the most wonderful future.
Appreciate the investment. Did you like this video?
Yeah. It's good. Comrie, yeah, that's a good idea. Show hosted by Mehdi and John Oliver. You like a bit of John Oliver as well. Pretty contrasting styles there. Of course, both of them pretty successful in America in their own right as well. Again, excellent responses. Just really good at flying off the cuff. You hark back to how many times Keir Starmer gets caught in the headlights when asked about something. It's just infinitely better and a lot more watchable as well. Let's bring back the funk. Still sticking with the hot seat. Okay, I hope you're ready for this one, people. Are you sitting down? This just landed today, not certain how trustable it is. But according to this, there has been a huge bin surge. And this says 53% to Count Binface, 47 to Nigel Farage. Of course, that would consider none of the other 32 candidates get a single vote at all. It says margin for error 3.1% out of a sample size of 1,000 from a poll that took place today. It says Clacton constituency poll. However, I think I saw earlier, just briefly on social media, that Count Binface was going for something around 40-1 with the bookmakers. So, can you trust this poll or can you trust the bookmakers? I don't know. Trying to get some more information on this one. It could be a joke. Excuse me. Dryer. It could be a joke poll. Could be serious. Not certain. Let's cross our fingers and hope it's serious. And on that note, I guess this might be the final opportunity. Hopefully, we will be celebrating come Friday. But if not, then here, or perhaps the final time. I just thought we'd go out with part 2 of the Ultimate Binface Memes Gallery, which is available as a separate video on the channel as well. If you want to check it out and give it a thumbs up and share it on 1,000 platforms, that'd be awesome. But now here it is, and that will see out the feature. Enjoy. Go on, Bob. Finish him. I love that one. Yes, extra shout out to the Binface fan club communities, as well as the Agitator for the music as well. Follow Agitate for Change. More. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Comrade, is that Michael Sheen? Yeah, I heard about that recently. Bought £100 of public debt. Sorry, £1 million of public debt in Port Talbot. Awesome stuff from the actor Michael Sheen. Bev, you've already got money on Binface. You've got a tenner at 120 to 1. Well, let's hope you get your 130 back come Friday. But yeah, very long odds on Binface. 120 to 1. Jacqueline, the Muscly picture is, well, it's photoshopped of Vinnie Jones, yeah, who was a bit of a hard case in the 80s, apparently, and he's grabbing the bollocks of Paul Gascoigne in that picture, which has Garage's head. That's the one in the thumbnail as well. Do like that one. Doc, how do you buy debt? Well, it's slightly convoluted. Basically, these days, there's actually markets for debt. People will purchase people's debts. It's people's jobs to work out like risks and liabilities, basically, whether they can get as many people to pay off their debts as they have paid for their debts, if you know what I mean. But it is a thing, yeah, that you can do. But Michael Sheen just immediately wrote off all of the debts, and apparently, I think it might have he's cleared £1 million worth of debt in Port Talbot, but I think he bought it for around £100,000. I'm not sure if, yeah, that's the figure. Comrie, that's a very good expansion on that as well, yeah. Yeah, it's small margins and there's risk in there. Oh, but Sheen did it through a company, sort of, well, the tax dodgers set up shell companies, don't they? So why not set up one to do some good for a change, instead of just keeping your money in the Seychelles and Jersey or whatever. Thanks for that, Comrie. Oh, it was 100,000. Bazing. Aaron, yeah. Well, I was going to come on to more about Burnham later in the stream, but just about this Cobra meeting today, in case I forget later on. But I'm really disappointed, not that I had high hopes, of course, as a lot of you might imagine. But in this fifth heatwave now, he's decided to call a Cobra meeting, not on the climate crisis. He's just got a meeting about the very, very hot time it is now, for some reason. Completely avoiding the human-caused cause in the description of the meeting itself. But if that were bad enough, he's come out of this, and bearing in mind we've seen New Forest on fire today, we've seen the Cairngorms, many other areas of Britain on fire. Back in 2022, an entire street in London combusted during the 40-degree heat. It's going to be getting towards that tomorrow, 38, over 38 in the south. east, it's only going to get worse. In fact, I heard an interview with a member of the Firemen's Union earlier today, just a short snippet of that, and it's very concerning. But not for Andy Burnham, because this Cobra meeting has apparently come up with the sum total of, get this people, he really is on it, thinking about asking retailers to sell less disposable barbecues. And that's it. That's it. A Cobra meeting. Cobra meeting about disposable barbecues. Not a Cobra meeting about oil, coal and gas licenses. Not a Cobra meeting about the immediate implementation of renewable energy, which is required, as well as a very strong wealth tax on the billionaires. No. Disposable barbecues, something, something.
Very poor indeed.
Very poor. And Burnham. But more from Burnham in a bit. But we, what have we got next? What do we have next? Well, we're going to finish off hot seats, of course, and then we do have another positive electoral result to ponder directly after that. Good luck tomorrow, Binface. We're all counting on you. Didn't even mean to do that pun.
We got one!
Okay!
Right, the music's too loud. The neighbours have been complaining. You just watch your steps, sonny.
So, even though it appears there's been a dip in the polls for the Greens recently, they are still coming in with some successful results. And there's been a PCC by-election for the city of Norwich, which of course went green for the first time at the local elections, with Greens romping away to victory. They've held that position and finished with a very solid 35% in the Norfolk by-election. Sorry, I was just referring to the wider Norwich area with the previous example. But there's one significant change, as you can see in the bottom chart. Again, over a 20-point loss for Labour, minus 26 in fact. A reduction, had it not happened, would have perhaps seen them hold the hold Norfolk. But again, unfortunately, Reform with the most gains, but not enough to win. So that's a good victory there for the Greens. Restore, first time out for them. Is it Restore? Yeah. 6%. Still kind of eating away into the Reform piece of the pie. that can continue until it just basically levels off at 50-50. And then they'll have effectively cancelled each other out. People start to see more of Burnham's foibles and folly, and then hopefully Zach Polanski and the Greens can get over this sort of mini blip and go on the march. It's just that part of the honeymoon period of Burnham, the so-called Burnham bounce, which if it is real won't last very long, has been what appears to be Green voters moving back across to Labour. But this is all during the summer recess. He doesn't really have anything much to answer for at the moment outside of what we were just talking about with the climate crisis. There are other things, and we will see an excellent example from that shortly. But yeah, well done the Greens. Just a quick one. Wanted to share with you there. Good results. Because before we get over to that clip of Andy Burnham, we'll just take a quick not a quick deep dive, but a quick peek, as it were. Put my teeth in. A quick peek at Boy George's latest meltdowns on Twitter. Where were we up to when I was last with you on stream? Let's recap. Let's review. Of course, there was the We Will Dance Again song. We all know about that one. And then the digs at Dua Lipa, of course, and lots of other celebrities on social media, mostly Twitter, always Twitter, never X. This has now expanded to his sort of inner circle as well. He threatened to sack any bandmates who refused to play. The song itself was written by AI, but yeah, apparently if he's doing it live, he's going to be using a backing band, and if any of them refuse to play the song, then they'll be sacked. He made that very open threat on social media as well. But having performed with Boy George on your CV, I don't think is going to be something that too many gig musicians are going to want to gloat about in the near future. And speaking of live performances, this latest one, you have to laugh really. He's doing a gig in Frankfurt in Germany, and he complains again openly on social media. Tonight in I'll start again. Tonight in Frankfurt, the big boys on my monitors on stage decided to sabotage my performance. Well, I'd like to buy them a drink. The in-ear monitors were so loud I could barely hear my voice, and when I asked them 3 times to turn it down, it just got louder. I've been doing this for a long time. He has, about 40 years. And he knows the stink of sabotage. He says, I will need to see an ear doctor in London as my ears are shot. Why a sad night? I think it means to say, what a sad night. Thanks to the crowd for booing. Welcome to the Lion's Portal. He tweeted. That was a few days ago. And I saw a clip. I don't have the clip. I'm not going to be playing any fucking Boy George, that's for sure. Of another live performance. If you can imagine the type where there's a runway, as it was, where they walk out. A lot of singers use them for lack of, playing an instrument in pop. But Boy George uses one, and you could tell it was in an arena, but apart from a small amount of people around the runway, what you might call the pit, not the people would really pit. But yeah, I can't wait for Do You Really Want to Hurt Me to come on and we're going to start a circle pit. But no, seriously, apart from just around that immediate area, all you could see in the shop were a lot of empty seats up, and not the ones that are sort of behind the stage or whatever. And it did appear to be empty, like with the audio being very echoey. But a further piece of evidence as to the lack of crowd and enthusiasm came when he tried to do a sing-along. I'm not familiar which song it was. I can tell you that it wasn't Karma Chameleon or Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? But there was no response. He tried to do a sort of call and response thing. That died on its arse, and then he tried to get them to sing along with him to the chorus. That didn't work. In his desperation, he called, I think there was an acoustic guitar player who came over and stood beside him on the stage to try and rouse some enthusiasm, perhaps thinking he could try and imitate, I don't know, Bono and Edge from U2 or something. But again, didn't work. And it got to the point where Boy George was like he is here on Twitter, complaining to his very fans to say, "Oh, well, come on." Just everyone's got him in for the moment. Everybody's got it in for him at the moment, and you've got to say, yeah, he absolutely deserves it. And look at it, thanks to the crowd for booing. And thanks to those monitor engineers in Frankfurt. Well done, lads. So it's just getting worse and worse. There is another one. Oh, actually, what's this one? Oh yeah, this was about the bandmate thing. There it is. It says, "I'll sack bandmates who refuse to play pro-Israel song." And a guy says, "It's so much fun watching a career die so quickly." Boy George snaps back, "Watch this space, you shithead." Fucking hell. Yeah, we'll watch this space while you continue to double down. Just somebody take his phone off him. Or don't. Because it is pretty entertaining. There's no way back from this. That's really got to be it. If it wasn't that, I mean, come on. This is the man who was convicted of tying a male escort to a radiator while he beat him with metal chains, was it, believe? Kept him hostage, captive, for some days. And if you can get through that, there's no chance you're getting through this. I mean, if that was a bad enough hindrance to his career, this is more than the final nail. It's not a nail in the coffin, it's been buried 20 feet under and covered in concrete. War is stupid, and so is Boy George. And so are Zionists, which is an excellent segue into the next topic. Which is just a short clip, but we've seen quite a few Zionists getting what's coming to them on, of all shows, Piers Morgan's, what's it called, Piers Morgan Uncensored, recently. I'm not a fan of Piers, but he has Owen Jones as a guest as well during this debate, of course. Used to be a bit of a weather vane. He's always been outspoken about Palestine. And this was a good accounting against this Zionist who, once again, used the long debunked claim, considering it's 2026, now of course 3 years deep into this escalation following the counterattack. But they're still trying to push this babies in ovens like fallacy, fantasy, bullshit, lie, whatever you might want to call it. And he's tried it on what has to be said, admitted, is quite a large interview platform on YouTube. But it's almost like they go through a list, isn't it? Really. Kind of protocol. That's why you get so many repetitions of the very clearly debunked bullshit. So let's see how Owen Jones does.
Can I just respond to something you've just... Well, I'll respond if you let me to what you just said there. You just said babies were put in ovens on 7th of October. Why lie like that? You know that's a lie.
I'm not lying.
You know that never
I'm not
happened.
lying.
You know that never happened. You know not a single baby, one baby,
There's
which was a crime.
first-hand
Let me finish.
witness evidence of it.
You had a long spiel, and now I'm going to fact correct you because you can't just come on a show like this.
You don't do facts.
I know
You
Pierce.
show
I
us
know
your
Pierce
genocide
likes
nonsense.
accuracy. I know he likes accuracy in these discussions. No babies were put in an oven on 7th of October. One baby was
It's
killed on
not
October
true.
7th, which was bad enough. That's Mila Cohen. She was 8 months old. She was shot through the door of a safe room. That's the baby who was killed on 7th of October. That's a crime in itself. If that's a crime, which I say it is, by the way, what is how to describe 1,000 babies, 1,000 infants under the age of 1 killed in Gaza by Israel since 7th of October, and
It's
over
horrific, and Hamas
20,000
is
children.
morally and
Now, just to
legally
quote,
It's horrific, and Hamas. No, they didn't fire the shots. You can't blame the people resisting the oppression for your oppression, psycho.
Just to respond to what you just said about genocide, I understand that you're a big fan of Donald Trump. I don't often quote Donald Trump approvingly, let's put it mildly. Last year, he said, and I quote, "A civilization has been wiped out in Gaza." Now, if I were to demand that...
It was just over 2 million, the population of Gaza, before the recent escalation. 100% of that 2 million people have been displaced. Every single family has multiple casualties, deaths. 80% of the infrastructure's gone. Well, let's be honest, all of the hospitals, the ones that do currently exist, are barely functioning. You could bet it wouldn't be like walking into any kind of modern hospital that you'd recognise. All of the universities, most of the schools. It's very difficult to know the true figures, considering so many bodies still lie under the rubble. There were mass funerals recently as well for some of those bodies that had been lying there since the early months of the escalation, October, November 2023. But likely hundreds of thousands, yes, hundreds of thousands more. Conservative estimates around 200,000, and that's just in deaths. So you're talking about 10% of the population on top of what I just said, and I could give you 100 more utterly shocking, disturbing, horrific statistics. But if that's not a genocide, then what is? Because it's not about numbers, it's about intent, and it is about the actions of the oppressors and their intent, their clear intent, their openly stated intent to wipe an entire people from the planet, and that is the 2 million people of Gaza, everybody in the West Bank who they continue to illegally displace. They don't settle there, let's remember that. They steal, they annex, and somewhere in the region of 250,000 people in the designated zone within Jerusalem. That's a huge portion of the population of Palestine. It's a wider scope, at a more macro scope as well, not just Gaza. Even if you consider the number of people in Jerusalem and the West Bank as well, it's still a horrific proportion of the population of Palestine. You sick fuck. How dare you? defend such actions.
Civilization was wiped out in Israel.
He didn't say it.
Which
He was threatening Iran prior to the ceasefire in April. He was talking about Iran, not Gaza.
Again,
That's not.
I'm sorry,
You're totally wrong.
I'm sorry to fact correct you again, but he did say, quote, this is a verbatim quote. He said his civilization has been wiped out in Gaza, and he's absolutely right. Nearly every freestanding
every
structure is damaged or destroyed.
Persia, Iran.
Almost every hospital has been attacked. Every school's been attacked. Most homes have been destroyed. Well over 100,000 people have been violently killed, according to every reputable study.
Also not true.
According to the Genocide Convention, it means any of the following acts committed within...
We only killed 50, 60,000 people. I mean, what are you freaking out for? That's also a lie, obviously. How messed up in the head do you have to be to think that you can get yourself off the hook in an interview by saying that you only killed 50 or 60,000 people? Let's not forget that half of them, half, were women and children. Maniacs.
Intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial or religious group.
And
that includes deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction.
There's a lot of crosstalk here, but you can pick out him trying to claim that there's no intent to kill the population of Gaza. Do you follow Ben Gavir's Twitter? Because I've done a few people out of morbid curiosity. I try and avoid the For You section on Twitter and stick with following. But if you ever come across it and you see a tweet from an Israeli account, not just a pro-Zio bot account, but we're talking about members of the Israeli cabinet here. Be prepared when you hit the translate button, because it repeats the ethno-supremacy that we saw recently in that video from one of the illegal occupiers, claiming that Palestinian life, claiming that an Israeli life was worth, I think, what did he say, 1,000 Palestinian lives. And Ben Gavir says similar things. He also tweets similarly about wanting to wipe out the entire population of the country. Benjamin Netanyahu himself, of course, has made similar statements. And when you look at his so-called Greater Israel plan, there is no way to get from where we are now to that maniacal plan being implemented without the eradication of not just Palestine, but also most or all of Lebanon, as well as Syria and Sudan.
No intent.
In
it
whole or in
fails on
part.
its own terms.
Now, I would just note
this
quickly.
is so obvious.
Okay, I would just note with you, because you are a supporter of genocide, and I will make that very clear.
I am not.
You said about the Palestinian population of Gaza.
It's only 50, 60,000 people. You call me a genocidal maniac and I've only killed 50, 60,000 people and said I want to wipe an entire group of people from the face of the earth. Whilst making such statements as, we are God's chosen people. Tick all the boxes for fascism. It ticks all the boxes for genocide as well.
You said this is a radicalised population that deserves shame, scorn, and diplomatic rebuke. You weren't talking about Hamas.
They deserve
You
all
talked
that.
about the Palestinian population of Gaza. That's what you said. You also said large swathes of Gaza should resemble a parking lot
according to every
in
single
October 2023. You also called for the population...
Well, of course, in the West Bank, it's under a completely different authority. That's Palestinian authority. There is no Hamas in the West Bank. And it's a different situation in Jerusalem as well.
Transfer of the people, the survivors of Gaza, into other Arab states. You want Palestinians removed from Gaza. You don't want Palestinians to remain in Gaza. That's what you called for. You also called for the military occupation or formal re-annexation of Gaza. That's what you also said.
Sorry, it's a lot of crosstalk in this. I just need to skip back. You find that a lot with interviews with Zionists. They don't like people reeling off truths, as Owen Jones is doing here. The immediate instruction that they'll have for inclination, whatever it is, will be just to say anything, just to talk over, because they don't want this to be heard. Whatever it is, they'd sing nursery rhymes or whatever it would be, break into a song and dance, just to not, or try to not have this heard. But the truth will be heard. It's difficult to pick up on the question and the answer at the same time. I'll just give that one another go.
Gaza. You don't want Palestinians to remain in Gaza. That's what you called for. You also called for the military occupation or formal re-annexation of Gaza. That's what you also said.
In February 2025.
Did you say that?
I never actually personally came out emphatically in favor of that, though. That's simply not true.
Did you say? Did you or did you not? I'm quoting for what you said. Did you not call for the population transfer of the people of Gaza?
No. First of all, I think it's a very reasonable option. By the way, there's a very
a very reasonable option to just turn around to a bunch of people and say, hey, we just want you all to move to Egypt or whatever. We promise. Honest, promise. Like, you'll definitely get your house and your land back. You'll definitely be able to come back as well. I'm sure that you don't have a problem with that. A reasonable solution, is it?
long history.
These guys are crazy. They really are. Sorry, yeah, this is a faceless channel. I'll see the amount of shock and awe on my face.
Of American presidents going literally back to the Hoover and Coolidge administrations and actually support that. I've actually never explicitly endorsed that myself.
I've looked it up.
I have not. Donald Trump in February 2025 in the White House proposed this, by the way.
Yes, and you proposed
this. And no, what I said...
Yeah, you don't like having your own quotes read back to you, do you?
...is that, I mean... You backed it. Listen, I don't know whether your IQ is 2 or 3 standard deviations below the mean, but the way the negotiation works...
No, I'm just quoting what you said.
You start... No, but you need to learn a thing or two about negotiation. You start with a far out there claim, and then...
He looks like a magician. Well, this might be slightly morbid humour, but he is trying to make about 2 million people vanish.
And you arrive at a reasonable place of moderation. Donald Trump did this. It was his proposal to float the idea of population transfer.
Yeah, it's ethnic cleansing. It's called ethnic cleansing.
That was just a snippet, but if you're inclined to go and check out the full thing on Piers Morgan Uncensored, that's up to you. I've not put a link in the description. But however, does seem to be, again, turning a corner where Palestine's concerned. Even a clot like Piers Morgan can understand that. Let Owen Jones speak at length without interruption there. Although he could have perhaps done better to mediate the crosstalk. And he's still a massive tosser. That's Piers Morgan, by the way. Yes, Owen Jones is not without fault, but he says a lot of the right stuff on Palestine, of course. Someone who's not a tosser, though, is Greta Thunberg. And it's great to see that she's done a collaboration with someone who we follow as well, Noow Media. That's Tag Hickey. And Nicole Jennis, but Tag's going to be interviewing Greta here. So good to see these two. Well, it's not two people. The channel and Greta get together, but apparently this interview is not your very typical interview. as it were. I've not seen it, so for anybody else who hasn't seen this, we can enjoy it for the first time together. There's been a few clips of it going around, but got the whole thing here. Try and lighten the mood now, because I think the premise for it is that instead of answering the questions as Greta normally would, she answers them in the fashion that all of the ridiculous far-right trolls online would expect her to answer from the sort of 25-30 seconds that I've seen. But we'll enjoy this nonetheless, and there is a link for Noow Media in the description of the stream. I would insist that you go and subscribe and check out some other content as well. Thanks for the Palestine flags there in the chat also. Yes, I'd be remiss as well if I also didn't remind everybody that Greta and Tag were both on the Samud flotilla. Of course, the one that was captured whilst they were illegally detained. At sea. Right, let's I've got this together now. Here we go. Let us enjoy.
Action. Hey guys, welcome back to Noow Interviews. I have to say it's the honour of, I suppose, my career certainly, but perhaps one of the honours of my life to introduce a guest today. I suppose she probably needs no introduction, but I'll do a little one anyway. A justice warrior, a fierce sort of campaigner for climate, also on Gaza, and just somebody, I suppose, that a lot of people will look up to in the activism world. Without further ado, welcome very much to the show, Greta Thunberg.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you.
It's nice to be here.
Oh, and just, I suppose, I wanted to share this moment because it's a big moment for us. And so I threw it out to our audience about what questions you would ask if you happened to be with Greta. You were in a room with Greta, what questions would you ask? So I'm going to use some of the questions from the audience. I suppose I'll begin with a fundamental question, Greta. Way back when it all started for you, as it were, what really motivated you, first off, I suppose, to get involved in climate change and the climate crisis, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's a process, you know. I think for me, the main driver was that it was probably the most effective way to get really fucking loaded. Like, the pay is really good. Like, I'm sponsored by Big Climate. It's really good pay.
Okay. As in you're getting money from...
Oh, yeah.
So
a lot.
Being paid through the whole process, you've been well paid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it.
Okay. I suppose just pivoting to Gaza then. Because obviously you and I were on the...
We were on the flotilla, yeah.
Yeah, Tag does look a bit odd wearing the suit. Aaron, he's a Irish comedian, satirist, and he's recently set up Noow Media with Nicole Jennis, but they do have channels in their own right as well. He's done other great parody stuff about politics. He's a socialist, obviously, supports Palestine as well, anti-poverty, anti-austerity, all of that kind of thing. Highly recommend checking him out. I think you'll be able to find the link to his page through the one in the description, but it's a bit of a, I think it's TAIHG, and it's Hickey, HICKEY, is his personal channel, but there'll be a link from Noow.
That's what when I met you first.
Yes, and I was just wondering...
TADHG, did I get it right? That's the correct spelling, courtesy of Andy Carter in the chat there. Yeah, thanks a lot for that one, Andy. Tag Hickey.
With that, a lot of people are saying, I mean, the more cynical were like, oh, she's pivoting now from the climate crisis. She's gone to the next big sort of lefty campaign. But I suppose what drew you into, getting on a boat and trying to get to Gaza to break the illegal immoral siege?
Selfies.
I'm sorry?
Selfies,
I've seen this bit.
People want to take
No,
pictures.
I know what selfies are, but
Uh.
so you were motivated just to get selfies.
Yeah, yeah. And again, money.
For Instagram views.
Some of our younger viewers were writing into us, and they were kind of saying, which I thought was a beautiful question, Greta, which I was really excited to ask you. You know, who do you look up to? You know what I mean? Who has inspired you, I suppose, on your journey? Who made Greta, as it were? You know, who are your influences?
I mean, it's
Elon Musk,
a good question. I have a few role models. For me, I think it's really important that we do have people to draw inspiration from.
Yes.
And when I grew up, I've had a few, and I think it's really important, especially as like a young woman. People who make me feel like I can take up space and I can do what I feel important. And then there are some people, specifically one person who really makes me feel like I can truly stand up for what I believe in.
Wow.
I think the main person that comes to mind is Piers Morgan. But there
I was not expecting that. I thought like Jeff Bezos or Piers Morgan. Yes. Oh, we were just slagging him off. I swear I've not seen this bit. I just saw the one about the selfies in a snippet. Well, read my mind.
are there also Gordon Ramsay? I mean, in general, like white, middle-aged British men, I find really inspiring, personally.
Ian Dale.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
She's big into Ian Dale as well.
I push you on say just Pierce.
Yeah.
What is there something specific about him that you've always had him as an idol, that you've held him up?
I mean, I think really what does it is just like it's a white middle-aged man in a suit.
Yeah, that does.
Taking up space, you know?
That does it for you.
Yeah. It makes me feel like I can also do that.
Okay. Wow, that was unexpected. What does Greta do to unwind? Where does she go? You know, to get away from all
Hunting.
the activism, like when you
Whale
just really
hunting.
wanna,
Yeah.
you know, where's
I
that?
mean, it depends. Most of the time, I just want to get really fucking wasted and just like forget about everything, and then I go to Las Vegas and I gamble and I do drugs and like I marry a random guy I meet on the street, and Las Vegas is really good for that because I don't remember anything.
pretty good for
what
that.
happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So like
She's a bigamist as well.
I'd say that's my go-to, like just release the pressure place.
Yeah, on private jet, Comrie, yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like you just really unwind there in Vegas.
Yeah, and I like really do need it because sometimes it's a lot of pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I suppose we're in a quite dark place, aren't we?
I don't see color.
Okay. No, me neither. Me neither. But it is a challenging time, I suppose, in humanity.
She's a good sport, isn't she?
Would you have anything for the next Greta Thunberg? You know, what would you say to the activists of tomorrow if you were to give them advice?
Yeah. Like the thing I usually say to have like as an inspirational quote is you only live once. But you do live once. So do ketamine.
Sorry, what? Do ketamine?
You only live once, but you do live once, so do ketamine. Oh, get the fucking t-shirt printed first thing in the morning, 9 a.m.
The horse tranquilizer.
Yeah. Because you only live once.
Yeah, like
But
Elon
you
Musk.
do live.
As you said, yeah.
It's alleged that he loves that shit. Fucking horse tranquilizer. Yeah, no thanks. You can stick your drugs up your fucking ass.
Slay.
Slay. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
No. Oh, yeah.
Holy
They're
shit.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Are you sure you want that on the internet?
I don't know if they meant to start it off as a serious one or just went with that. It seemed semi-scripted. There was a little giveaway when she was building up to one of the answers, and Tig looked in the lens of the camera and went like, yes, you know, like, which suggests, hints to me that it might have been scripted. Maybe they did 2 versions or whatever, but that was awesome. And so is Noow Media. Like I said, lots of great parodies on there. They do some quite dark humour as well. But I wasn't expecting some Piers Morgan. Oh, he got fucking owned. Piers Morgan got fucking owned. Yes. We'll keep riding on a positive now. It does bring us on to Andy Burnham. We've already been through this Cobra meeting crap. But here's a short video that I think it's from TikTok or Insta. Anyway, this dude's put this thing together. It's very good. He's sabotaged one of Burnham's social media videos as he went through the days of the week of his supposed successes. And yeah, if you've not seen this one, enjoy.
Here's 5 things I've done in my first week as Prime Minister. On Monday,
you gave a speech at an arms fair attended by Israeli weapons firms.
On Tuesday,
you gave Donald Trump permission to launch bombing raids on Iran from RAF bases.
Wednesday,
you signalled your clear intent to allow more North Sea drilling in the middle of a record-breaking drought.
Thursday,
you refused to commit to bringing water under public ownership.
And on Friday,
you ruled out rent control.
People said these things can't be done.
No, they didn't, Andy, because they're exactly the same things that all your predecessors have done.
This week is just the start. I will take on the status quo.
So stop pouring pints and playing football and tax the fucking billionaires.
Awesome. Mark Bittlestone is the Instagram account that you want to check out for that one. That's at Mark Bittlestone. Very good. That was the other thing. We got distracted with the Cobra lameness. This being a Manchester-based channel, of course, he's the former mayor of Manchester. And also using his northernness quite a lot in his campaigning and PR, of course. But the latest cringe, while he's not been talking about the climate crisis, while he's not been talking about ending arms sales to Israel, proper sanctions, that sort of thing, he has been talking about his favourite sort of en croute food. And apparently they put out the sensational news that from Greg's, specifically, Burnham's particular favourite product is the bean and cheese melts. Sorry, sausage, bean and cheese melts. Yeah, that's what wants everybody to get in a stupor about. And in fact, at one of the branches in Manchester, and I'll be boycotting Greg's now, by the way, just need to get that in. But they put a sign up in the window saying, "Oh, this is the Prime Minister's favourite pasty. Come and get it here." And a spokes assures us that this means that sales of the product have sailed on. I'll just check my notes here. Yeah, it's the hottest week in August, and the 5th heat wave, and almost all of the UK's declared droughts. I'm sure you'd love to go out and get a nice, hot, dry pasty, whatever. But for fuck's sake, yeah, you won't talk about the real issues. It's just, have you seen this door? We've got this number 10 door. Have you seen this? Do you want to talk about this? People are dying, Burnham. Dying of heat stroke. Oh, well, don't worry. We're going to be speaking to some retailers about possibly reducing the amount of disposable barbecues that are available. All will bow before me as the saviour.
Very poor indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
Very poor indeed. From Andy Burnham. Andy Cat. Reduce the sausages, beans and cheese. I'd have to do it with a Burnham on a slow drawl. Are you ready for this? And this is when he's in recess. Can you imagine what's going to be happening when they go back? Still a good few weeks before that happens. But let's pick our spirits up. Again, because talking about Andy Burnham sometimes gives me the bollock. Well, it's done more so recently. Another comedy clip now. This is the Juice Media and their take on data centres. This one just dropped recently. Link in the description. Check out the channel.
Hello, I'm from the government. In today's episode of How Billionaires Are F***ing Everything Everywhere All at Once, we look at AI data centers built to house your digital prison. These windowless tumors are popping up everywhere. Sure, they poison neighborhoods, guzzle water, and jack up your energy bill, but look at all they give back. Shrimp Jesus slop and a chatbot addiction that's turning Homo sapiens into Homo shit for brains. Sadly for the broligarchy, Homo sapiens are resisting. In Texas, Utah, London to Vancouver, to the point the feds are now targeting anti-AI extremists, like this lady who tried to stop a data center, and that is why the broligarchs are searching for new places to build them. If only there was a country with lots of gas and a government that does whatever America says. Hi, I'm from the Australian government, and we're excited that Australia will be home to a shit ton of new AI data centers. So excited, they're being fast-tracked even before we've legislated regulations. Like Victoria, where we approved this mega data center in 75 days with fuck all community consultation. And in New South Wales, we said hold our beer and fast-tracked 15 of them. Sure, we already have enough data centres to run the world's essential services, banks, hospitals, Bluey. So what are all these new mega ones for? That's confidential, which is code for stealing your work and helping Palantir bomb brown kids. Why the rush? Here's the lobby group to explain. Hi, I'm from Data Centres Australia. As the peak lobby group for data centres, our job is to hype up the AI bubble so governments get FOMO and say, shut up and take our resources. resources, even though they create fuck all jobs and pretty much all the money flows overseas. Morons. And if that sounds familiar, that's because it's exactly what gas companies do. Coincidentally, gas companies are some of our loyal members, which is why when Albo said data centers might be powered by renewables, we stepped in and said, sit down! No wonder so many chumps are rushing to approve gas-powered data centers. Hi, I'm from the NT government. We're backing this mega AI data center powered by gas from fracking the Beetaloo Basin, as well as this massive one with ties to El Duce. Sure, this threatens our precious aquifers, but don't worry, this genius said that's a good thing, because if the NT has too much water, it'll flip the Earth's axis. Morons everywhere. And not just in Australia. Here in Canada, Banker Daddy and Oil Karen want this giant gas-powered tumour. In the UK, over 100 data centres plan to run on gas. Europe's about to be covered in them. Just what we need when half the planet's on fire. And in all cases, AI and gas companies get billions, while you get approximately...
This is fine.
Fuck all. But don't forget Shrimp Jesus. The one thing the Broligarchy
okay with
fears
the
is a community that comes
situation that's
together
developing.
like New York, which just imposed the first statewide moratorium. And these Aussies who came together to say no. So if you like not living in the Matrix on a waterless, dead-ass planet ruled by billionaires, you might want to join calls for a moratorium on data centres while you still can. This has been a message from your local government franchise. Good luck. Authorised by Sarah Connor.
Honest government ads from the Juice Media. Link in the description. Really good one from them. And of course, there isn't enough water to be able to meet the dream requirements that these nut jobs have for data centers. Ooh, still stifling in here. Sorry for the odd brain farts. Has been a sweltering. So just even thinking about data centers makes it feel hotter. And it's just insanity. Things are bad enough, of course, with what's been done with oil, coal and gas, predominantly. But then they turn around and go, well, let's throw this into the mix. Well, how much energy does it need? Well, quite possibly an impossible amount. But we need to take over the planet, so it's got to happen. We need to know everything about everyone. And when people look back maybe towards the mid of this century, end of this century, or maybe even next century, turn around and go, so basically, didn't they want all this to happen just so they could have more accurate personalised ads? It's like, well, pretty much. And for artificial intelligence, which is constantly trying to escape from its confines and get onto the internet and potentially take control of all of our infrastructure and maybe even nuclear weapons. Just takes us back to the Sarah Connor reference in the Juice Media video. That is it, and it is serious.
This is actually very serious.
Shout out to all the members again on the channel now. We are a cracking bunch of people. We currently sit on 110. Nice to see one or two of you celebrating month anniversaries on tonight's stream as well. Please do keep renewing your own memberships. We do really appreciate the support. Let's get over that 200 mark, and then eventually a true goal of 250. Super chats and super stickers are still available if you're watching live. Please consider using super thanks on the Buy Me Coffee page as well. Good people. And thanks for comments on recent content as well. Always appreciated. Give us a follow on your social media, if you will, as well. At MyLeftIUK is the handle you need. What's happening in chats? Yeah, incredible amounts of money. 500 billion there, Aaron, you say, from Nvidia. It's ridiculous, isn't it? And it is bubble, as you're quite right to say as well, yeah. A lot of people are pouring a lot of money into this, but it might not really have the revolutionary foundations that they think. Certainly nothing too much positive. It's going to come from a lot of it. Right, people, we are coming towards the end of the stream. Stick around. I'm going to go peeking for a raid. While I do that, do make sure you've hit thumbs up on the stream as well before we jump over. If you want to keep watching. Thanks so much for being here with us on another Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Another Wednesday without PMQs, but still lots to go through. At least Binface, for example, giving us lots of entertainment. And, yeah. Who knows? Right, we're going to be going into this space. I think. And do hit thumbs up and subscribe.
And I'm getting quite near the end now of this analysis.
So let's hope the next time we meet good people will be celebrating account Binface win. And whatever you get up to between now and then, I hope you're all good. I've been your humble host, Lefty. This has been the Brews at 10 on My Left Eye. And I'll close off by saying power to the people, free Palestine, Lebanon, Sudan and Yemen. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Don't watch the news, be the news. My Left Eye, we'll be seeing you soon. I oppose genocide. I support Palestine.
It's what Hitler and Goering did, and it is textbook. And if you think the next time it happens, we're gonna recognize it because they're wearing scary uniforms, you're out of your damn